All right, everybody. Here we are for our third round of January's silent meditation, offline meditation, and still focusing on balance. So there's some interesting information that's popped in before I started. But first, I want to take a minute to bring in my January Ply participants, as that's part of their little bonus for January. And I'll just state your first name initial in case anything gets done with these this recording put public. So B, D, M, B, last name, H, M, W, K, and I. Wow, very nice. Some of you are likely not actively in for the live, the live, the actual meditation. You're probably going to listen to it on replay, but some of you are showing up more strongly than others. That's why I'm saying that. But let's get the whole group lined up. It doesn't matter. That's fine if you come in later at another time. Okay, there we go. Preparing the whole group. And anybody else who's participating because they've seen my post on Facebook. Well, we got a nice big crowd here that's showing up. Let's see, who are these other people? Interesting. It feels like that's actually what part of the group that is showing up is actually from what we term as the unconscious collective. So people who are not really awakened yet. And it's like there's a bubble of the awakened group and the brighter group, and outside of that is there's almost like a crescent shape actually around that of more of the people who are still part of that unconscious. But if they're showing up, that means that there's a spark that's been initiated in them that's saying, pay attention, wake up. So that's why they're showing up a bit zombie-like, but that's all right. They're showing up, and kudos to them for showing up. So now we can kind of get started now that we've got the whole gang here, so to speak. So just take a nice deep breath in, fill your lungs up completely. Hold it at the top for a count of 5, and then exhale slowly as you can, and exhale, dropping your awareness all the way down, out through your body, all the way down to the core of the earth. exhaling completely all the air out of your lungs, and then the in-breath comes in automatically, coming back up with your breath into your chest, feeling that anchoring of that grounding frequencies that you've just pulled back in. Through the in-breath. And then just coming into the natural rhythm of your breath. Okay, the Ply participants are showing up the strongest. Then there's another group of more awakened on the awakened side. And so what I'm starting to see now is that the brightness, the light that is within these two groups is actually flooding over to the unconscious side. So this is how we work to change the world at the inner level. So part of what I was saying earlier, and we'll dive in a little bit more deeply, but I want to explain this first, is as I was tuning in before starting the event, is the image that what it was showing me is that there's this big uptake that's happening. And so in terms of the theme balance, it's really giving the impression of an imbalance between the old and the new, and there's so much uptake on the new that can feel really imbalanced and really make us feel out of balance and out of sorts in some ways. It's all of a sudden kind of going, you're going up a hill, and then all of a sudden that hill is actually going straight up vertical instead of at an angle. So that feels like that's going to be heading into February. And that could be another purity wave that's coming through towards the end of the month, February. But we're starting to feel it now. So the focus will be really maintaining that balance for ourselves individually, and then as the smaller collective of the awakened population on the planet. And what's coming into play with that also, what's showing up is, as I said that, what showed up is, okay, so it's not just the collective, the human collective, awakened human collective. It's also the awakened cosmic collective, so part of a bigger force that is huge by comparison with the unawakened human collective. So bringing that up, because to bring into your awareness that as a human being at the human level, it might feel like there's so much against us. There's a larger force against us. And at the cosmic level, the scale is completely, fully tipped towards the awakened side. So just to let you know, you've got a lot of backup, so to speak. The backup is here, and it's huge. So you still have to do your part. You still have to go through your life stuff, but knowing that the backup is there is huge, really. And So very nice. So thank you all for showing up. All right, let's take another deep breath in and exhaling out completely again. And then when you get to the bottom of that breath, squeezing all the air out, coming back, and that in-breath kicking back in, coming back into your regular breathing. And we're going to focus on just bringing that inner balance mechanism. And it's interesting because the image that I'm getting is, imagine a plank and it's on a, I think the word is fulcrum, where it balances both sides of the plank, kind of like a seesaw, and so there's the fulcrum, the pivotal point is usually in the middle for a board where it's balanced evenly. And so what we're going to be doing today is giving flexibility to that pivotal point to move accordingly so that the balance remains regardless of how one side of the seesaw might be more weighted than the other. So that pivotal point always shifting to maintain that balance. This is kind of pretty cool mechanism here. Instead of keeping it always centered, dead center on the length of that plank, and then the plank goes up and down according to the weight, the more weighted side or less weighted side. This is to adjust that to always maintain that balance. So very, very different than what we did in the last two meditations. So keep coming back to your breath. In fact, it feels like taking another deep breath in and then holding it for 10 at the top this time. It's a little longer, that's okay. And then exhaling hard and fast. Just kind of changing that so we don't get stuck into habitual patterning here. Then coming into your breath again. Coming in, feeling that rhythm of that breath. Allowing it to slow down even just a little bit more. And as it slows down and as your whole system gets more quiet with that breath, coming into a deeper place with the heart rhythm, letting yourself drop down, letting your awareness drop a little deeper in to get to the rhythm of the heart. So focusing on clearing little distortions that are coming up in the group here. And there's some cosmic forces that are actually engaging, activating to engage in the process and help with the clearing. So if you get different impressions, like if it feels a little bit different or you get different colors, I'm actually seeing colors, a lot of streaming colors, or something that's not like it usually is. That's what you're picking up on. and just maintain your awareness on the rhythm of your breath and the movement of your chest. And if your mind wanders or notices something else, that's fine. Just notice what you're noticing, and then come back to that rhythmic breathing. When we're kind of just, we're starting out here, the main focus right now is just that essence of balance, to really strengthen that within the individuals. So kind of going deeper in this activation, infusion for those present. And anytime you feel the need to take a deeper breath, to come into just to kind of reset, just take that deep breath, exhale, and come back into the rhythm of the breathing in the chest. Yeah, what's happening for people is there's a clearing of patterning around you, frequencies around you, environmental situations that are around you that have a tendency to throw off your balance to varying degrees, whether it's family, you know, and just having like kids running around you at home, you know, that can sometimes throw you off balance when there's kind of an outburst of activity, little things like that. Even neighbors. The weather for some people, you know, sensitive to the weather. So like cloudy days, kind of things, so more kind of that environmental pieces. And I don't want to call them distortions, they're just environmental influences. There we go. So things that are in your environment, even just the noise in the street, So that's kind of clearing away from people. It's like the little triggering mechanisms that are in your field that get triggered from those items are releasing out of your field so that it doesn't trigger you or less likely to trigger you. Or kind of like surprise you and throw you off balance in a moment. And that's really strengthening that inner balance. And centering it's balance, and it's really coming through as that centering also. But and it's interesting because it's almost like a flow that's running straight up and down. And we're going to extend to the larger context of environmental, not just your immediate environment, but we're just going to go all the way to the global. We're just going to jump right all the way out to the global context, environmental context. And that's helping to create kind of a huge, a bigger bubble around the group and the Awakened Collective. And actually the Cosmic Awakened Collective is supporting that holding of that bubble of the human collective. So maintaining that balance at all moments helps us to move through whatever events are happening around us with greater calm, with greater ease. And in that state, we are able to get the information, the intuitive information, as well as whatever other information that we need in the moment to keep us in a good place, keep us safe and secure. There we go. And help us, and that supports us in moving forward steadily. It might not be quickly, but it's steady, and secure. And now I want to get into anchoring that kind of sliding pivotal point mechanism, to just strengthen that maintaining balance, regardless of what the, uh, the regardless how the weight is divided on the seesaw kind of thing. That's bringing about actually an emotional clearing out of the emotional, but clearing out of the chest, clearing out of deeper ties, and deeper distortions that aren't necessarily big, but they're connected to other people, that especially like family, friends, associations we belong to. So it's a more current life level. Work obligations, it's kind of interesting to help us. So shifting that out as well, because that's getting in the way of maintaining that balance as needed. Social roles is another one that's clearing out. So it's literally everything right now that's clearing out is chest and on up through the head. Social impositions of all kinds, legal impositions for also. As that gets anchored in. Moral obligations. Ooh, that's an interesting one. The essence of duty that gets imposed externally, but also duty, the sense of duty that we carry internally. Because our first duty is to ourselves. Our only true duty is to ourselves and to our awakening and becoming our fullest awakened potential. And everything else follows that and follows suit and is for the highest good of all. But there's like duty to country, duty to a group, duty to whatever, family. Yeah, so obligations are coming in with that duty. So moving to shift those out, because that keeps you from maintaining from that pivotal point to shift as needed so that you are always in that state of balance. So it's like if all this external pressures pile up, that pivotal point will shift appropriately so that you're still balanced relative to that, kind of on that seesaw image. So it can't throw you off, yeah. Okay, we're going to work on opening the heart a bit more, the heart space. And that's not about emotions. Let's see if I can, okay, if I can put this into words for you. Because it's about opening up to a greater consciousness, to a higher level of consciousness that is the guiding force within you instead of the lower level consciousness, and giving you more access to more support, not at the human level, but at the spirit level. There we go. Nice. Boy, everybody's beaming brightly here. Okay, just coming into wrapping this up for everybody. This is a really, this is going to be a really good, this is a really good clearing here that we're doing. A lot of strength. For all the individuals. Determination is also coming up. Oh, that's a nice one. And yeah, raising you up to above a high level, kind of above all the craziness. Very nice. Taking a nice deep breath in, holding it, releasing, letting yourself feel into this moment. When you're ready, opening up your eyes, still feeling into that present moment, present experience as you anchor into the physical, your current physical reality. And thank you very much for participating.